going on, Sonny?
After you picked up my car, where did you go?
Sonny, what is it, Sonny?
You tell me.
I drove around a little and then I went to go pick up Jane. Why?
And where did you go with my car?
I remember I picked it up.
Don't lie to me. Where did you go with my car?
Sonny, I swear to God, why would I want to hurt you? You've been like a father to me.
A father grows concerned when a neighborhood mobster starts spending time with his son in the Bronx. Welcome back to Movies Explained. Today's movie is a 1993 crime drama called A Bronx Tale. The story begins in 1960 in a working-class Italian-American neighborhood. Lorenzo works as a bus driver to support his wife, Rosina, and their 9-year-old son, Calogero, who is fascinated by the Mafia and criminal life around him. Each morning, Lorenzo drops Calogero off as Rosina watches from above. One day, Calogero sneaks into the bar next door, Chez Bippy, where mob boss Sonny and his crew hang out. As he peeks in, Calogero introduces the people inside. Although Tony Toupee technically owns the bar, Calogero insists it's really Sonny's place. Eddie Mush is a gambler with terrible luck, nicknamed because everything he touches seems to turn to mush. Jojo the whale appears to get fatter the longer you watch. Frankie, Coffee Cake, has a face that looks like coffee cake. Jimmy Whispers is Sonny's main aide, trusted because he keeps every secret. Rosina discovers Calogero inside and scolds him, instructing him to wait in front of the store while she grabs groceries. When he returns home, Lorenzo lectures him further, warning him never to go near the bar. The next day, Calogero and his friends Slick and Mario watch Sonny rough up Frankie Coffee Cake and imitate his crew. When a bus carrying black kids passes by, Slick becomes enraged. Calogero tries to calm him, saying it's just a bus, but Slick chases after it yelling insults. Lorenzo sees this chaos and signals for Calogero to meet him at the stairs. As they sit, Calogero witnesses a fight between a driver and one of Sonny's men over a parking spot. The driver swings a baseball bat at Sonny, who shoots him point blank. Lorenzo quickly drags Calogero upstairs while Rosina checks that everyone is safe. Minutes later, police arrive, knowing Calogero was downstairs, and want him to identify the shooter. Presented with a lineup, Calogero refuses to point out Sonny, telling officers none of them are guilty. Upstairs, Calogero boasts about not snitching. Lorenzo responds that he did something good for a bad man, and explains that sometimes life forces you to make choices that aren't morally right. The next day, as Lorenzo drops off Calogero, he notices Sonny seems to show newfound respect toward his son. Jimmy Whispers boards the bus and expresses thanks to Calogero for keeping Sonny's secret. Sonny even offers Lorenzo a job delivering numbers along his route, promising plenty of cash, but Lorenzo politely declines, refusing to involve himself in criminal activity. That evening, as Calogero gets ready for bed, he observes the funeral of the man Sonny had killed. The following day, while fixing his bike, one of Sonny's men tells him that Sonny wants to see him. Sonny immediately takes a liking to Calogero, offering him work serving drinks at the bar, where tips are generous. Later, during a dice game, Sonny calls Calogero over to throw several rounds. Calogero succeeds in making 11 consecutive passes, earning Sonny a lot of money. Afterward, Sonny tips him generously and gives him a nickname, C. Sonny treats young C like a son, and soon the neighborhood takes notice. A local peddler hands C a bag of peaches, refusing payment, only asking him to tell Sonny that he had looked after him. When Lorenzo and Rosina discover C's stash of cash, they demand to know its origin. Furious to learn it came from Sonny, Lorenzo rushes to return it, insisting that C stay away from the mobster. Sonny clarifies that the money belongs to C, not Lorenzo, and warns Lorenzo to show respect, emphasizing that he treats C like a son. Lorenzo, however, is concerned only about appearances, the flashy clothes, cars, and money, and demands Sonny keep his distance, angering Sonny, who orders Lorenzo to leave before he risks being struck. Back home, C is upset and asks for his money. Lorenzo hits him lightly to control his temper. C argues that Sonny was right, claiming the working man is a sucker. Lorenzo counters that true toughness is found in the man who wakes up every morning and works for a living, not in someone who wields a gun. He apologizes for striking C, assuring him he will understand the lesson with age. Fast forward, Sonny is at the racetrack with an older C and his friends, all betting on a horse named Kryptonite. Eddie Mush also bets, but Sonny, knowing the horse will lose, tears up the tickets and leaves. C waits to see the outcome, and sure enough, another horse wins. By this time, C and his friends have formed their own social club, Deuces Wild, spending most of their time hanging out. When a car carrying black people passes through the neighborhood, C tells his friends it's no problem, they're just passing by. Slick and the others disagree, claiming outsiders have no right to enter. Lorenzo appears and gestures for C to come with him, asking if he wants to attend the boxing matches the next day. C, distracted by a girl across the street, doesn't hear. Later, when dropped off, he notices a man named Lewis who owes him $20 and chases after him. Sonny calls him over, explaining that hurting someone isn't always the solution, and that paying $20 is cheaper and smarter than getting into trouble. C marvels at Sonny's wisdom. Sonny responds that he's not always right, If he were, he wouldn't have spent 10 years in prison. He references a book by Machiavelli teaching C about the power of availability. Sonny explains that he could live anywhere, but chooses this neighborhood to stay close to everything and be ready for trouble. His advice to C is simple: focus only on yourself, your family, and the people who matter most. Shortly afterward, a motorcycle gang stops at Sonny's bar to buy beer. Jimmy Whispers tries to eject them because they aren't dressed properly, but Sonny allows them to drink. When the gang begins throwing beer around, Sonny returns, demanding they leave. After insulting him and refusing to comply, Sonny locks the bar doors, letting them realize the gravity of their mistake. Seconds later, Sonny's crew emerges from the back and brutally beats the intruders. Later, Nicky Zero displays guns for sale outside the bar. Sonny sees this and becomes enraged, slapping Nicky and accusing him of making the place too hot, which could get everyone arrested. Sonny kicks everyone out but wants C to remain. He warns C that his friends are troublemakers and that carrying a gun doesn't make a man. Sonny insists that this life isn't for C. The next day, C notices the girl from the bus and is thrilled to learn they will attend the same school. When his friends plan to hang out, C lies about having a test so he can stay and speak to her. After a shy introduction, he learns her name is Jane and walks her home, arranging to meet for a movie the next day. While hanging out with friends, C sees black cyclists pass through the neighborhood again. He urges his friends to leave them alone, but Slick, confused by C's recent fairness toward black people, attacks one cyclist. The others join in. C pretends to participate while quietly persuading one cyclist to stay down to avoid serious injury. Sonny is furious when he hears about their behavior, advising C again to stay away from his reckless friends, warning that they are headed for trouble or jail. Later, C asks Sonny about dating a black girl. Sonny surprises him, saying the only thing that matters is what feels right for C and the girl. He should follow his heart. Sonny even allows C to use his car to make a good impression. He explains the Sonny test. When C unlocks her door and lets her in, if she doesn't reach over and unlock his door in return, he should end the relationship. C also seeks Lorenzo's advice. Lorenzo admits he has no issue with black people, but insists marriage should be within one's own race. C challenges this prejudice, asking how Lorenzo would react if he dated a black girl. Lorenzo stubbornly says it would never happen. On their first date, C learns that Jane's brother was beaten by Italians the day before. Jane questions C about it. C denies involvement, but Jane brings her brother to see if he recognizes C. The brother points at C as the attacker. In anger, C lashes out, calling him a racial slur, instantly regretting it. Jane hurries away with her brother. Returning Sonny's car early, C tells Sonny that the date didn't go well. Lorenzo confronts C about driving Sonny's car and insists he stay away from the bar. C argues that Sonny trusts him. Lorenzo replies that Sonny trusts no one. People fear Sonny, not respect him. He urges C to be a man who works for a living and cares for his family. C retorts that the working man is a sucker, thinking Lorenzo has nothing to show for being a bus driver. Storming out, he discovers Deuce's Wild has been egged and his friends are preparing to retaliate. Sonny arrives before they can act. The boys scatter. Sonny grabs C, furious, demanding to know where he went with the car. He reveals it contained a bomb that didn't explode, repeatedly slaps C until he admits the truth, finally believing him. C assures Sonny he would never harm him. Lorenzo rushes over but is knocked to the ground. Sonny warns that next time he should know what's going on before speaking. Later, C meets his friends who are ready to retaliate with Molotov cocktails. He joins them but quickly regrets it, unsure how to leave without seeming cowardly. At a red light, Sonny appears, banging on the car window, ordering C out and smashing Slick's face into the dashboard for questioning him. Sonny delivers a final stern warning to leave C alone. C expresses disbelief that Sonny still doesn't trust him. Sonny explains he trusts no one. It's a harsh way to live, but it's all he knows. When C and Jane arrive, Sonny's men inform him that a girl had been looking for him. He rushes to find Jane, who explains that her brother told her the truth, that C had actually helped him. C reassures Jane that he wants to be with her and doesn't care what anyone else thinks. After their first kiss, C remembers that Slick and the guys are headed toward Jane's neighborhood. He quickly instructs her to get in the car. As he walks around to his side, he sees Jane reaching over to unlock his door and leaps in excitement. Slick and the boys arrive in a predominantly black neighborhood and begin shooting indiscriminately, followed by throwing Molotov cocktails. One bottle fails to explode and is thrown back at their car, eventually igniting it along with the remaining cocktails. C and Jane arrive to find the bodies of his friends scattered on the street. Jane is unsure whether to feel relief that they survived or sorrow for their deaths. C rushes back to the bar to find Sonny. Inside, a party is underway. As C navigates through the crowd, he notices someone approaching Sonny with a gun. He screams, but it's too late. The man fires, killing Sonny. The shooter is the son of the man Sonny had killed 8 years earlier, an event C witnessed. At Sonny's memorial, C is dismayed to see people casually discussing business as if nothing has happened. Eventually, the crowd leaves, leaving C alone to say his final goodbyes. There, he meets a man named Carmine, who tells him he will be taking over the neighborhood. Carmine informs C that Sonny spoke highly of him, and invites C to come see him whenever he needs anything.